I just want to, coming over to the Devils, during the free agency period, is this what kind of you anticipated would eventually happen for this team to get into the playoffs and to have this, game three? I mean, we got a long series here, but what happened last night, the impact?
I mean, I don't really know what to say. I think there was a lot in that question. So, like obviously coming here, yeah, I knew a young team and the talent and all the stuff that the guys had, and they're only going to get better. So, I knew that, and I knew I was going to be here for a lot of years. So, I wanted to be on a good team and be on a good team for a while. So. Obviously, we made a pretty good jump from last year to this year, and yeah, so it's obviously great. We're in the playoffs, and we got a playoff win, and we want to keep going now.
When you're at your best, and we were talking to Lindy about this, your offense and what you bring offensively and how you generate offense is a key. Are there other intangibles that you feel you bring to the game, or that you want to feel as though you bring to the game besides the offense?
Yeah, I mean the whole game, taking pride in not giving up chances defensively. At the end of the day, I'm a defenseman, so try to play good defense, and that leads to the offense and supporting my guys, the offensive guys, and but definitely, I mean playing offense also helps defensively too.
Yeah, good. So, as far as the team in general and heading into Game 4 now, what's the outlook? Is it just carry over what you guys did for Game 3 and basically?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't talked about it too much yet, so I think everyone was just pretty excited last night, and obviously it was a late night, so got some sleep and get back to it. Head over back to the city this afternoon and get back into it. So obviously you can't just, in the playoffs, you can't just stay the same and be happy with what you're doing. So we're going to have to keep making adjustments and try to keep improving, because we know they're going to be doing the same, and hopefully we can figure out some more ways to better our game.
When the power play is clicking, what is working?
I mean, execution. I think on the goal we had a good net front. I think I don't think the goalie saw the shot, so I think that helps a lot. I mean, it's pretty hard to score on goalie when they can see it and they're set and everything. So I think that was probably the key to our goal yesterday. And like I said, execution, and then obviously that was a big part of it.
Dougie, what's it like when you see a guy like Jack, who isn't normally throwing hits in the regular season, do what he's been doing in these games, and what does that do just for an overall attitude?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I think we all know how competitive he is, and I think it just shows. So he's stepping up to even more, and I think that's just, like I said, his competitiveness, and that's why he's a superstar. So he always wants to be the best, and like I said, it just shows he's added to his game.
In your experience with playoff hockey, how important is it that those who don't normally do those types of things step into that role? I mean, obviously it's not his only game, but...
Yeah, I think you have to play your game too. I think it's hard to change your game. I don't think you want to... I mean, it's not like he's running around hitting everybody, so... but when he can, and yeah, it's definitely adds, and we all see it and stuff. So, but yeah, I think we have to remember why our team got here and how we played, and what gave us success, and we have to play to that. We can't change to do things that we aren't.
Why is this team so...
So Nico, this position that you're in right now, I guess in some ways it's almost similar to 2018 with Tampa and what went down there, 2-1 series. Obviously this year's team, you're expecting a little more. Do you have a good feeling about where the team is right now after that Game 3?
Yeah, 100%. I think we
played exactly the game we wanted to play, and yeah, it definitely got us some confidence for sure. So we feel good right now.
The penalty kill was outstanding last night. So, was there a lot of video work that went into what you guys needed to do, knowing what Kreider was doing, knowing the players they have on that number one unit?
For sure, but video was always there. I think it was just more about executing. We didn't execute enough in the first 2 games, and obviously we got some more video, but it wasn't like much new. It was just more about coming down to execute it.
You guys obviously had a really good regular season, but what did last night do for you guys psychologically? Not that you didn't have any belief that you could do it, but that, you had tangible evidence now.
Yeah, like it was a big game for us for sure to get that first win and in their building. So we just picked up some confidence. So we feel good right now.
Did you feel good about the team after each period intermission, where you were at, the way the team was playing? Did you sense like a calmness, a coolness within the locker room?
Yes, simple yes.
Yeah. And entering overtime, how confident do you feel the group was that you'd win this game?
We were confident the whole game. Like I said, we played exactly the game we wanted to play, and we talked about it. We had to stay patient, and we got our chance. And was a great playoff game.
As captain, is there anything you're doing any differently in the situation you're in right now? To spur the team, to get the team going, or no, it's just that same level Nico?
Same.
Obviously, Schmidt performed well when he played all the times he played this year, but when you look back at what he did last night under the circumstances in that building, and your season kind of hanging in the balance there, could you have imagined that kind of a performance from him? And
I mean, he's shown it. He's shown it. He could stay calm in any situation, and he gave us a hell of a game. And it was a big reason we won the game because of him as well, for sure.
That was obviously a huge lift for you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
And you played better in front of him, as obviously than you had the previous 2 games.
Yeah, like we played a better game for sure. The first 2 games here weren't good enough, especially special teams. But he gave us some saves we needed, and he just looked really calm.
What did it mean to the team, to the players, when Dougie Hamilton signed here, Nico? What did that kind of say about New Jersey? How, I guess for you guys it was great to have an elite defenseman like that come aboard.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it just shows that we're going somewhere, and that we're building something here, and we're in the middle of it. So it's just getting started, and we have a great group in here, and Dougie fit well in here.
Nico, what would you say about the way that Lindy's handled things? In adversity, those first 2 games was pretty heavy-duty adversity, and he seemed to kind of remain the same and expressed his belief in you guys.
I mean, I think he's the guy that knows how it is, and he has a lot of experience, so that definitely helps our group of players, especially how many players, for example, didn't play one playoff game yet. So being down in series, I think he handled it really well, and got us confidence to go out there and play our game.
If I could go back early season, what do you remember of those Fire Lindy chants over, right away and stuff like that? What was your reaction to that? And
right now, nothing. We're not looking at that. Obviously, that was a long time ago. So we're right now in the playoffs. So,
I just mean kind of where it's come. Kind of where I'm going from is kind of where it's come from there.
Obviously, then you understand, like, fans were expecting us to win games early in the year, and we lost the first 2, and just passionate fans. We have passionate fans here, which obviously understandable, but I think this is past us, and I think Lindy already made some jokes about it early in the year as well. So this is nothing that bothers us, right?
Were you amused when they apologized to him several games later when you got on the winning streak and stuff like that?
I focus on hockey, to be honest. I don't really try to get too much into that.
Nico, what does it do? What does it do when players like Jack get involved physically, knowing that that is the type of playoff hockey, whether he's trying to throw hits and all that? Like, what is it?
Well, that's exactly playoff hockey right there, and Jack doing that brings a lot of energy on the bench, and that was one thing we were better last game too. We had way more energy on the bench, and yeah, it was an emotional game for sure. And but seeing guys that usually say don't hit as much, that's playoffs. Everybody is bumping, everybody's finishing their checks, and it's what makes playoffs more intense and fun.
What did you make of the this sequence where Shesterkin takes that penalty on Timo? Just Timo taking the body in that way, and then really helps you guys get that power play goal. That was a big moment for everyone.
Playoff right there too. Playoff. Whoever lose or gets like another extra slash composure, gets the penalty. So that's playoff hockey there, and I think Timo. He's a well-experienced playoff player, so he knew what he was doing.
What makes this team play so well on enemy ice?
Say again?
On enemy ice, why is this team so
well
on the away games?
We probably just understand how to play on the road. I think we got to stay patient. That's what we did, and really detailed. So, and we have a lot of confidence in our road game right now. Obviously, throughout the year, and why wouldn't it change in the playoffs? So.
What allowed you guys to skate the way you wanted to skate yesterday? Because it seemed like the Rangers bottled you up pretty well in the first two games. And how liberating was it to be able to get back to your game yesterday? The way you liked to go?
I mean, honestly, I feel like the first two games were a lot of special teams that we weren't good enough. And first game wasn't good, but second game I think played better, but the special teams wasn't there, and still think it wasn't 5-1 game the second game, so we knew like it wasn't good enough yet, but we knew we just gotta play our game, and that's what we did. I think everybody understands it now, and we're excited for the game tomorrow.
Thanks, Nico.
Andy, when you look at particularly last night's game and the physicality that your team had to deal with, whether it was Timo or Jack, what have you liked about the way you guys have sort of fought through that element?
Well, it's all just part of playoff hockey. I think you deal with it. You got to be aware of it. You got to have your head up. If you can find your out, if you got the puck and you think you're going to get hit, it's let's make the next best play. But physicality is a big part of, really the first round of the playoffs is highly elevated, maybe tones down a little bit after that.
How have you seen sort of Timo in particular last game? I mean, he was being targeted is probably not the right word, but he really took the brunt of a lot of physicality, and he's a guy that just pops back up and delivers it back.
Yeah, I think he had a lot of good hits too. Went through a lot of bodies. He was around the net front, created some havoc there. Got in the forecheck, and his physicality was noticed there. He wants to be hard to play against. That's part of his game.
Despite the fact the Rangers were playing so well those first two games on the power play, Lindy, in a strange way, did it kind of give you a lot of video work, a lot of ammunition to go over with the team? Like, look at what they're doing in different situations on the power play, and did that kind of benefit you for Game 3 in a way?
It probably, you always learn something from every situation. Like I said, after Game 2, we had some blown assignments. I thought we didn't miss many assignments in Game 3. We did a great job on their entries. So, I think that frustrated them a little bit, where you don't get to spend much time. We did make some adjustments, which you have to make from game to game, and I'm pretty sure they'll look at the same and say, we got to maybe try this, or relieve some pressure this way.
Did you feel your top players, your best players, really showed up last night?
I really did. You look at Jack's goal in the power play. You look at, I thought Brader had a great night. Backing him off, using his speed, breakaway right off the bat. He was dangerous every time he got the puck. So I thought, top end. You look at Pally right in front of the net on Jack's goal. He made their goalie fight to see it just for that split second, and as he fought to see it, Jack hit his mark.
When you look, Lindy, as you've slept, a few hours you probably slept between last night and tonight, Psychologically, what did last night do for your team?
I
It
think
seemed like it just kind of showed that they, not that they should have needed belief, but after what you did during the regular season, but it seemed like it allowed them to believe a little bit.
Yeah, I think if you look at last night's game, it was really similar to a lot of the regular season games we played in. They were close games. They were overtime games, a 2-1 game, a comeback game. Maybe we scored a little bit more, but I think playoffs a lot of times brings more defense. And you look at the game, we know we're going to be in a tight game. We know, and I'll use this saying again, we got to, be comfortable being uncomfortable. I think they're forcing us in a game that they're hoping we make a big mistake. We got to show patience.
What is it to you? You found more of your skating lanes, and you the first 2 games they really kind of bottled you guys up a bit. Without giving them any trade secrets, what changed? Was it strategic?
A lot of it was skating on pucks. I talked about we didn't skate on pucks. I thought last night we did a great job of skating on pucks. That we didn't pick a puck up and just stand there and look to pass. We got going. I still think we can play faster. I still think there's more plays to be made that we didn't make, but our skating was a lot more evident in game 3 than it was in 1 and 2.
Can you share any of your locker room discussion between this second and third, and third going into overtime? I also noticed you came out a little late both times, and you let the Rangers skate a little bit, and then you guys came on the ice.
Well, I think we always come out with like 1 minute. I think they always come out at the same time. I've never noticed anything with that the whole year. So, we talked about staying with our game in between periods. Really positive. The stuff we were doing good. That was creating the opportunities, like mention that opportunity right off the bat. And knowing that they've got a good team and they're going to create some opportunities, and how are we going to defend them? Overall, just keep emphasizing what we were doing well and aware of where they were trying to expose us.
With regard to Schmidt, obviously, he played well during the regular season, and it's easy to say, oh, well, we had confidence in him and stuff like that. But when you look back at last night, could you have imagined the performance you would have gotten out of him when you pushed that button?
Well, again, here's what I didn't imagine. I didn't imagine I would get the performance that he gave us during the regular season when we put him in. Sometimes during games, sometimes starting. You look at his numbers. His numbers were good. I don't think it's by accident. I think that we've played well in front of him. I think we played our best game in front of our goaltender last night, which really helped. But at the same time, he made key saves when he needed to make key saves. Aaron came in alone on a breakaway, he made the save. So there was moments there that he had to make a save to either keep the tie or fuel some offense for us going the other direction.
How imperative has it been for your group to never be intimidated or never backing down from a play in order, particularly last night?
Well, again, like I said after game 2, we knew we were in a hole. We've been in a hole before. We knew we were focused on one game and really focus on one period. Come out, let's play well. You can't control bounces, but you can control effort and where you're going. And I thought our guys did a good job.
Lindy, what has Dougie Hamilton showed you in these 2 full seasons here that maybe don't show up on the score sheet?
That ability, that timely ability to get to the right spot to score that big goal. I think that was missing really a little bit in game 1 and game 2. I know a lot of coaches have used the expression, safe is dead in the playoffs. I think it does mean a lot. Where if you're just gonna hang in there and hope for something, or are you going to get on your toes and try to create something? And I think by him joining, just in that overtime play, if he would have hung back, we would have never got that opportunity. So that's probably the opportunity that stands out the most. There was a couple more where he was sliding in through dot lane that he had the look that he scored on 2 or 3 times. So his ability to read and find that open ice.
I guess my point is, though, too, like, does he need to be generating offense to be an effective player? Like, is there anything else?
That is Doug's game.
Yeah.
That is Doug's game. I mean, look at the numbers. That is the best part of his game, and that's the strength of his game. He's got to play to that game. He's got to be involved for us, and that's what made us dangerous during the regular season.
Lindy, with regard to Lazar, who was part of last night for you, what is it? What kind of patience does it take? He has, obviously, we all know about his at home situation, not having them around and stuff, but being in being healthy scratch early on in the series and stuff. Getting out there last night.
Well, I think even more than healthy scratch was, coming off an injury in Vancouver, getting re-injured, trying to get back, trying to get back in the lineup for a second time. But we know we've got a guy that plays the game well, knows how to play the game, is physical, good on face-offs, gives us another penalty killer. And I think that helped us out up front also. Another guy in the face-off circle that can take a little bit of load off of Nico. So maybe Nico doesn't have to kill as much as he kills.
How well do you think he played last night?
I thought he played well. I thought, really stepping in a tough situation, I thought he gave us exactly what we needed.
The Rangers have really been hitting Jack a lot. Is he showing you that a lot more toughness than we've seen ever show before?
Yeah, and he can expect that. I mean, when you're the best player, you're going to get targeted. We've had some licks on their best guys, and we want to continue to get that. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to continue to focus on slowing him down, getting him in his way, making sure they can bump him when they can bump him.